IELTS listening test is usually the second test. Alright? So remember, if you are doing a paper base, you do the exam within 2 days. The first day will actually be only speaking. The second day you begin the second test with the listening test. So it's also very important that you are at the test center on time. Okay? If you are late, you will not write. You will not write means you will not write. You understand? So you just need to be there on time. Now the listening test, you will have 30 minutes to answer about 40 questions within 4 sections. So in the listening test, you are going to have 30 minutes. Within these 30 minutes, you answer about 40 questions within 4 sections. Thereafter, if you are doing the paper base, you'll be given extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers from the question sheet to the answer sheet. The question sheet is the booklet that contains the questions and provision for answer. So when you finish writing your answer, you'll be given answer sheet. Answer sheet is just a page, So you transfer your answers from the question sheet to the answer sheet within that 10 minutes. Your major work at that time is to transfer the answer. And because if you do any other thing, the 10 minutes will not be enough. And the examiner will not mark the answers on the question sheet. They will only mark the answers on the answer sheet. So that is why you must transfer your answer to the answer sheet. Alright? Now also remember that when you are transferring the answer, you don't explain the answer. Maybe the question is, what is the name of the manager? And you found out that the name of the manager is Fred. When you want to transfer your answer, just write Fred. Don't write the name of the manager is Fred. Don't explain the answer, just write the answer. Because if you try to explain the answer, the 10 minutes will not be enough. And if you write only 5 answers in the answer sheet, that's what they will mark. Do you get that? So that's the essence of this 10 extra minutes. But however, if you are doing the computer base, there won't be any extra minutes, alright? Just 30 minutes. Now, the sections are 4 sections. So you have section 1, section 2, section 3, and section 4. The first section, which is section 1, it's usually a discussion between 2 persons, alright? Normally over a telephone call. So what happens is you hear somebody calling the customer care, maybe of a company, to try to make inquiry. Section 1 is predominantly like 80 to 90% phone calls. Do you understand? So, but as these 2 people begin to exchange information, you'll be getting answers to the answers of the question sheet. Again, you'll be given the question sheet at the beginning and then a headset. So you are going to be hearing the conversation, the narration, the discussion through the headset. So as you listen to those conversations, you're actually going to be listening out for the questions on the question sheet. Do you get that? Maybe they say, what is the registration number of the vehicle? That is the question that is written on the paper. Now, as you listen to the conversation, you are going to hear when they will mention the registration number of the vehicle. Now, the interesting thing about the IELTS listening test is actually before you start listening, they will tell you the number of questions that a particular audio you're about to listen to cover. So you may hear something like, the audio you're about to listen to is for question 1 to 5. Now you now have some time to listen out for, or to look at question 1 to 5. Alright, so they'll tell you, so that audio you are going to listen to at that moment is only for question 1 to 5. Do we get that now? Then they'll do it like that for other questions. So in section 1, that's like that. Section 2 is a narration, just a monologue. You hear the voice of one person. But also as the person is talking, you'll be getting answers to the question. Section 3, you have 3 to 4 speakers at times. And then section 4 is usually an academic extract. You just read something, maybe a paper on a particular topic, on a particular course or something. So also as you listen, you get the answer. Now, what is the purpose of the IELTS listening test? It's very simple. The purpose of the IELTS listening test is to listen and is to understand or evaluate your ability to listen to spoken English. So they are going to be using like British accent, majorly British accent, North America or Australia accent. So you'll be able to listen and hear the answer. Take note of the following. Firstly, you do not have control over the audio. Yours is to listen. You cannot pause the audio, you cannot go back, you cannot go forward. Alright? So you must listen. Alright? And understand that you will listen once. You won't replay any audio. This is because, you know, the listening test, all the test takers will be in the hall at the same time. So as you are listening, another person is listening. So you don't have control over the audio. Then secondly, you have to learn how to listen and write at the same time. You know, you have to be able to write and listen simultaneously. Because what happens is, as you are listening out for the answers, when you hear a particular answer, you need to write it down. And as you are writing the answer, the audio keeps playing. So the audio is not going to wait for you to write, because as you are writing, another person is writing. So you should be able to listen and write almost the same time. Do you understand? And then, thirdly, do not panic if you miss a particular question. Now, the questions are serial. Like, you will hear the answer of question 3 before you hear the answer of question 4. So at times, while you are listening out for question 4 and you hear the answer of maybe question 5, it simply means you have missed question 4. Do you understand? So, but you don't need to panic, because if you panic, if you are disturbed, you are going to miss more questions. Do you understand? So what happened is, at the end of that section, you just think of the best answer you think is the answer and write it down. And that actually leads me to the next point, that it is attempt all questions. You should be able to attempt all the questions, all right? That means don't leave any question blank. If you leave any question blank, it's not good for your score, because the instruction is attempt all questions. Even if you are not so sure of that particular question, just write down something. You may be surprised that you get it right. Actually, there are some strategies you need to pay attention to that will give you possible high mark in the IELTS listening test. So the first one is follow the storyline. You know, follow the story as it develops, but don't be carried away by the entertaining information. Because depending on what is your interest, you know, you may be hearing something that actually like interests you as a person, right? So you don't need to pay attention to, you know, to the entertaining aspect of the story. Just pay attention, ensure you follow the storyline, you know, as it develops. And one of the things that I have to do generally to evaluate that is they'll give a particular answer and later change the answer. So if you are not following the storyline, you won't know when the answer have been changed. But don't be carried away by the story. Remember that you are not there to listen to be entertained. You are there actually for the second point, which is listen out for the answers. So you are listening to the discussion, to the narration, with the sole aim of getting the answers to the questions. So you must focus your attention on getting the answers as you listen to the conversation or narration. The third point is you need to listen, you need to be able to listen and write the same time, like simultaneously. This is because the IELTS listening test, you know, you are going to be hearing or listening to the conversation, the discussion, or the narration through a headset, and then at the same time, you are expected to write the answer as soon as you hear them. Remember, you don't have control over the audio, so you are not going to be able to pause the audio to write down your answer. So you need to learn how to listen and write at the same time. Again, this is very important because you can actually hear the answer of maybe question 5, and within the next few seconds, you are hearing the answer of question 6. So if you are not able to write or write on time or click if you are doing the computer delivered, it's going to affect your overall performance. The next point is you should be able to build, or you should start building consciously your ability to understand spoken English, especially according to British accent, because the exam is predominantly British accent not America or Australia accent, but majorly British accent. So that means you need to be able to listen to more of BBC News, you know, or watch a documentary that has to do with British accent. It has to be deliberate. It has to be a conscious effort. Because if you can actually hear what is being said in the course of the exam, obviously you are going to get the answer. So a whole lot of work you need to put a whole lot of energy on ensuring that you build consciously your British accent, your ability to understand what is being said. These are some of the strategies that you need to pay attention to, and actually please subscribe to our YouTube channels so that when we upload the videos for the question types, because for you to actually do efficiently too under the IELTS listening test, you need to be able to understand the question types, you know, and then that's the next video we're going to do. All right, thank you, and you can also share this video. Thank you.